reputation mounting for you a little bit?
Yeah, they certainly know how to make it happen that way. I'm just grateful to be here, and whenever my time happens, I'll be ready for it.
What's the last few months been like for you?
I mean, going from thinking I'm not going to play this year to ending up here has, been quite the ride. Grateful for, all the people in my corner have been able to allow me to be where I am today. And I think it's a huge testament to the Texas player development as well to kind of get me ready for this situation. So we'll see how it goes.
Are you trying to be a sponge at this point down there, just trying to take in as much as you can? Are you asking questions? Are you trying to fly under the radar? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to annoy anybody, that's for sure. But I'm definitely asking questions where I can. I'm fortunate enough to know a couple guys here. At the same time, it's like being the new kid at the lunch table, slowly I'll get to know everybody as we go. But yeah, just happy to get this opportunity.
As far as Coors Field has quite the reputation. Have you tried to do any recon on how to go about things there if it happens in the next 2 days?
I was just trying to see if the acclimation had anything to do with what my pitches might do. I threw a touch and feel the other day just to kind of see how it was coming off the mound. Not too much different. The ball comes off the bat a little bit, but that'll happen anywhere. So I'm interested to see how things play out here.
Will you tell me what you've got in your repertoire?
So it's a four-seam fastball, changeup, curveball, and a cutter.
And can you rank those for me in order of comfort level?
I guess fastball is, bread and butter for me. I'll probably go. The cutter has been a big improvement, so I'll probably put that at number 2. Curveball is good for an out pitch, and the changeup has been more on the back burner as of recent, but it's still a really good pitch.
All right. Well, good luck with the anticipation. That's all I've got, buddy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Emma.
Hey, other questions for Wes? Raise your hand. Jeff.
Hey, Wes, you said you thought you weren't going to play this season. I'm sure you know lots and lots of guys who aren't. What have you heard from those guys and what they're doing and how their lives are going? Yeah,
it's interesting because I actually trained with a lot of guys who have been in pro ball, who were hoping to get the same shot that I had. And I think for them, it's a harder grind to be able to go in and day out and, maybe just throw live VPs to, high school hitters. It can be difficult. It can be monotonous. And I think that it's going to be a testament to them, too, to see how they return once baseball kind of comes back to normal. And they're incredible people, and I was expecting to be in that situation, too, so I know how tough it is, and I hope they can continue to power forward.
And then you've started pretty much throughout the minor leagues.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this relief stuff?
It's definitely a new experience for me. I think that obviously you get on the mound, it's the same thing, whether you're starting or relieving. A lot of it has to do with being able to land off speed for strikes earlier in counts than maybe you normally would, seeing guys a couple times through. But it's going to be fun to see, and obviously our starting pitching staff has been incredible, so they haven't really needed to use me much yet, and I'm excited for the opportunity when it comes.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Of course. Thank you, Jeff.
Other questions? Jared.
Wes, what's been the biggest difference for you or key, I guess, in your growth from, the last couple years to where you are now?
Oh, man. I would just have to say being able to handle the ups and downs. There's a ton of adversity that comes with each level you go to. I think last year at AAA Nashville, I kind of got kicked in the teeth a little more than normal coming out of the gates. So I think being able to handle the failure and being able to learn from it and know what to kind of go to next has been the last kind of piece of the puzzle I think I needed. I didn't really have that coming up through the lower levels. And I think now knowing what I need to do, and obviously the addition of the cutter too has helped a ton. It's kind of a slider cutter, but it depends on left-handed or right-handed or where I want to put it. That's been the biggest difference, and at least when talking to some of the hitters on our side and what they see, I think that's been a major improvement in my game.
How did you learn the cutter, or who helped you learn the cutter?
Actually, talking with Todd Walters on our side, he basically was like, "Have you ever tried throwing a cutter at some point?" And I thought about it in previous years. I actually played catch with Colin Wiles one day, and he kind of showed me what he did with his. And I threw one to him, and it almost took his glove off. So I kind of thought, oh, maybe I have a chance there. I didn't really get into it much until this past off season. I tried throwing a little bit at the beginning of the year in Nashville last year, and I wasn't comfortable with it. So I spent this past off season really trying to hone in on it and throw it for strikes, and it's been much better.
Awesome. Thanks, Wes. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks, Jared.
Anything else for Wes? John Radigan, and then TR. Then we'll let him go.
Hey, Wes. Wes, as the new kid at the lunch table, have you had a chance to pick the brain of another guy who lives with the fastball and lives and dies by the fastball, Lance Lynn? Have you had a chance to, sit and sort of talk strategy and all those things with him yet?
I mean, I'd love to. Obviously, it was his day yesterday. I didn't want to, get in his way. But he's a great guy. And I definitely think that being able to pick his brain is something that's next on my list. It's definitely pretty close. But
Oh. I think we're frozen, Rich.
My internet connection
we're good.
is not good.
Okay.
Now, am I back? Can you see
We're
me?
good now. We're good now.
Oh, we
Okay.
got you.
How much did you hear from me?
Just that you'd love to pick his brain, but you didn't want to bug him on his pitching day.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy. He's certainly open with a lot of the younger players. I haven't had the opportunity to sit down with him yet, but that's definitely something on the horizon for sure.
And did you learn? Obviously you do learn just from watching him, right?
Oh, absolutely. And last night it was incredible. And I definitely think I'll learn a good kind of a yell in the eighth inning. Hopefully, we'll see. That was impressive last night by him. Talking with him and some of the catchers and figuring out a game plan has been a big difference for me this year as opposed to recent years. Really learning the craft and being able to do that in game is huge.
Awesome. Thanks, Wes.
Of course.
TR.
Yeah, I was just curious because I know when the Rule 5 draft came around last year, all the writers were trying to predict who the Rangers would keep and who they would, or who would they protect and not protect. And I know all of us really worked your name over. How caught up were you on wondering if you were going to be on the Rule 5 or not, and what was it like when you weren't protected?
I realize it's a business. There are a lot of young arms in our system who are really good, and they're great people too. So being able to be a part of that group and just be able to contribute however I can is huge for me. I didn't want it to be a thing that, I live or die by, just because, things like this happen where, you're not selected. You can't put all your eggs in that basket. And I think being able to just kind of light a fire under me to show people, hey, I am capable of this. And I think that's made me a better pitcher because of it.